Hello and welcome to Round Glass. I'm Leah Cullis and I'm your guide for our yoga session today. Today's class is all about going slow and steady. Sometimes we actually have to slow down to get where we want to go or be who we want to be faster, right? Yoga teaches us that there's power in reflecting, pulling back, moving slow and with intention. And that helps us to create more precision in our movements and our actions, and also be more sensitive so we can awaken and lean into our inner listening and our intuition. So today we're going to hold postures for a little longer. We'll be gentle, and my invitation to you is to really listen to what your body has to say when you go into each pose, and respond with your nourishing, life-affirming breath. So let's get started. We'll come into a simple seated meditation to begin. I like to always begin classes in a short meditation just to get still, let the mind quiet from the busyness of life, and that starts to awaken our inner wisdom, our inner listening, our intuition. So please join me in a seat. Today I'm in Virasana. I'm also seated on a yoga block. In today's practice, I actually want to encourage us to use our props. So if you have your blocks, your cushion, your bolster, your strap, or your blanket, or all of them like I'll be using today, please have them around your mat. I'm really excited about teaching in this way because I'm really sharing a lot of my personal practices with you. And I've noticed that in the last couple of years, my practice has slowed way down as just the stress that we're living under day-to-day life has been rising. So all together, let's start with some stillness, with some centering. Okay, come into your seat, ground your palms to your thighs, and then I invite you to close your eyes. If closing your eyes isn't a fit for you today, you can simply shift your vision down to the earth and soften your gaze. And then tune into the natural flow of breath in and out of your nose. As you breathe, can you smooth out the tensions from your inhale to your exhale and back around? Our breath always gives us feedback about the state of our nervous system, the state of our bodies. So when we take the time to tune into the breath and bring a smoothness and ease to the breath, there's a ripple effect that we can feel. So notice what it feels like for you. Now bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your low belly. Take a moment to set your intention for your practice today, your slow and steady, gentle practice. Let's meet with our hands united at heart center in prayer. Take a deep breath in, fill up all the way. So feel your inner body get bright. Open mouth, exhale. Bow your head to your heart. Release your hands to your thighs. Open your eyes and lift your gaze. Okay, yogis, let's come into child's pose. So if you're seated on a block or a cushion, just go ahead and slide your props off to the upper outer edges of your mat. For child's pose, touch your big toes together. Widen your knees to about as wide as your sticky mat. Sit your hands to your heels, and then bow your head and your heart forward. For today, keep a generous bend in your elbows and lay your forehead down on the ground. If that's too much, you can always use one of your blocks or your blanket underneath your forehead. You want to be supported so your whole back body can soften. As you soften all the muscles along your back, your shoulders, and your arms, begin to lift your inhales to flood the spaces between your back ribs. And as you exhale, soften your whole body towards the earth. Slow and steady, about 4 to 5 counts on the inhale, and 4 to 5 counts on your exhale, in and out of your nose. And for all of the poses that we create, the breath actually creates the pathway for our movements. So listen to your breath, your inner guidance, and let your poses shape around your breath. When you're ready, extend your arms forward and rise on up to a tabletop pose. We'll prepare for cat-cow. If you feel fine with your shoulders stacked over your wrists and your hips over your knees, stay there. You can tuck your toes under for a little more support. Or if you want a little extra padding underneath your knees, I always recommend having a yoga blanket. Y'all, I practice with props all around me all the time, so I always love having a blanket close by to just give a little cushioning. Let it be easy. All right, come into tabletop pose wherever you are. Let's amplify the breath with cat-cow. So on your inhale, relax your belly down. You'll tip your tail high, shine your heart forward, and look up. With your exhale, press the earth away, arc your spine like a Halloween cat, and hug your low belly in. And inhale, open up your front body, slow and steady. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, arc your back. Use your entire breath to complete the pose. Inhale, expand, get longer across your front body. Exhale, press the earth away, hug into your center. This time, inhale, shift forward slightly. Notice how that feels on your upper back and your wrists. On your exhale, start to dip your hips back towards your heels. I like to do a little shake as I do it. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, cat, drop your hips more towards your heels if that feels good. Maybe you crawl your hands a little more forward, widen your base. Inhale. You can even drop your hips down to the earth. Give yourself more of a front body stretch, up dog. Exhale, cat with the child's pose variation. Take 3 to 5 more rounds of breath flowing in either tabletop variations, cat-cow, or you can expand the movements into up dog and into a child's pose variation. Just move slow and steady at the rhythm of your breath. Never forcing anything, especially not in yoga. Yoga is a balance, a practice of balance between effort and ease. Okay, when you are complete, come back to your neutral spine, tabletop pose. Now, walk your hands forward about 6 inches, tuck your toes under, press your hips towards your heels, ground through your knuckles, lift your hips high, downward facing dog. If you want to, you can keep your blanket right where it is, or you simply move it off to the side of your mat and come into your strong, stable, sturdy, and expansive downward facing dog. Now walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees a lot. Lay your belly or your ribs on your thighs. Then drop your head, grab opposite elbows. Ragdoll forward fold. Even look up towards your navel so the back of your neck gets longer. And massage your back ribs with your breath. If it feels good, gently rock and sway side to side. Come back through center, release your fingertips to the earth. Bear crawl forward. Downward facing dog. In your down dog, you want to make long lines from your wrist up to your hips and then root down from your hips through your heels. With your next inhale, lift your right leg high. Now firm your leg muscles to the bone, so you want to make a strong line from your hips through your toes. On your exhale, draw your knee to your right elbow. Pause here. Squeeze your heel higher towards your glutes. Nice and steady. Inhale, three-legged dog. On your exhale, cross, tap your left arm. Then kick your left or right foot out beyond the left edge of your mat. Sit your hips down. If you got a little lost there, no worries. Just join me in a wide straddle fold. We're facing the back left edge of the mat. Flex both of your toes, then tense your left fingers along the outside of your left leg. Sweep your right arm around. You can catch your right foot or simply lay your hand down on the ground. Come into a cow variation, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over your left leg. Couple breaths here. Notice with every inhale, there's an opportunity to get longer from your hips through your heart. And with your exhale, draw your belly back. Think cat in your belly. On your next inhale, rise up. You can rainbow your arms back to the top of your mat. Good. Then start to lift your hips up, squeeze your inner thighs together, and step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet, and notice the difference between your two sides. Let's work that on the other side. Inhale, three-legged dog. I'm going to show you an option here. You can always take tabletop pose instead of down dog. Lift your left leg up. On your exhale, draw your knee into your left arm. Lift your heel higher. Inhale, extend up and back. Exhale, cross, tap your arm. Extend your leg long, open up into your wide straddle fold. I'm going to turn to face y'all. Then we're going to lean over the right leg this time. So inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Now, we're going for length and opening across the whole spine. So your first fold may look like this. I know when I practice in the morning, I feel a lot of stiffness in my upper back and shoulders. So the degree of fold is going to look different for each of us, depending on our lives, and also depending on the time of day that you're practicing, what you've been eating, and how you've been feeling. So just lovingly take it slow and steady and meet your unique edges today. And then soften your edges with your breath. Okay, as best as you can, reach both hands to the top of your mat and make your way into downward facing dog. Big breath in, open mouth exhale. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees, slowly walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Set your gaze at your fingertips or close your eyes. Take a couple breaths here. Feel yourself as strong, powerful, open, and available. Available for more energy to flow through you and for you. All right, let's take it slow, yogis. Take a deep breath in and open your eyes. Exhale, arms by your sides, palms facing forward. Inhale, slowly make a big circle all the way from your heart through your fingertips, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, we bow, gentle. Palms to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Plant hands, and we're gonna step back into downward facing dog. Couple breaths here, pedal out your knees. And then settle into stillness. Press your thigh bones back away from your heart. As you activate your legs, can you tilt your tail higher to the sky? Adding on, inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, knee to your nose. Step to your right thumb. You can even take a few steps up, but go big in your base. Then seal your left heel down to the ground. Activate your core. You can walk your hands up to your front knee or rise on up to warrior two. Open heart, open hip posture. In your warrior two, find steadiness for you. No rush here, just feel into your shape and notice where you can make subtle adjustments through softening and strengthening to allow your breath to flow. Now, straighten your front leg, get long from your feet up into your core, lift your low belly up, hinge forward at your hips, right hand down to the sky, triangle pose. So for triangle pose, this is a great place to use one of us. Remember, we never want to over effort. We're finding that balance between slowness and steadiness, strength and ease. Establish your foundation, press down through both feet. From your feet, lift your core up, lock your belly. Inhale, rise to stand. Now spin all 10 toes to face the left edge of your mat. We're setting for a wide straddle forward fold. As you press down, lift your low belly, plug your arm bones onto your back. Take a big breath in, look up. Keep all of the length through your spine, pour forward, exhale back, straddle forward fold. This is a great place to use one of your blocks to bring the earth up to you. Or if you're feeling open, you can tense your fingers in line with your inner arches and drop your head to the earth. Wherever you are, slightly shift your weight forward more towards your toes. Stay grounded in your heels, but play your edge. Walk forward, come into a halfway lift, so palms to the earth underneath your shoulders. From here, spin your right toes forward, rebend your right knee, sweep your hands to the top of your mat, and step back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here to work all of that strengthening and that releasing through the body. Left side, inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step forward. So feel your feet grounding, digging down into the earth. Then spin your left heel down. Zip up your low belly, slow and steady, rise into your warrior two. I'm going to turn to face all of you. All right. In your warrior two, we want to work the knee towards the pinky toe edge of your front foot. Soften your shoulder blades down your back and expand your heart energy all the way through your fingertips. Then take a couple more breaths here. Slow and steady, find your degree of the pose. And you'll know when you can be in the fullness of your breath without over-efforting or hanging back. Straighten your front leg. Keep all of this length. Hinge forward at your hips, then left hand down, right arm to the sky, or you can bring your right hand to your hip. Press your hips more forward and lean your heart back. Notice how little shifts can make a big impact on your breath and the sensations that you uniquely feel. All right, lift up through your low belly, rise to stand. Turn your toes to face the edge of your mat once again. So this pinky toe edges of your feet are parallel. You may even turn your big toes in slightly. Option to catch your hips again or bind at your back. You can interlace your 10 fingers. You can create reverse prayer, reverse namaskara, or grab opposite elbows. I'll grab opposite elbows for today. Inhale, lift your heart high. Keep your bind slowly tip forward. Exhale, fold. Drop your head. And if this is ever too much, you just release your grip and tense your fingers onto the earth. We're balancing out between our effort and our ability to relax in each shape. Continue to dig down through all four corners of your feet and lift your inner arches up towards your groins. I like to think of my footing in every shape as plugging into the earth's energetic grid. All right, this time, Come into a halfway lift, so get long from your hips through your heart. Touch your thumbs right underneath your nose. Then inhale your right arm to the sky, open twist. With your next exhale, return your right hand to the earth. Ground through your right palm, inhale, left arm up. Notice if your right hip wants to dip down, balance out through your center, unwind across your heart. Both hands down to the earth. Turn your toes forward, sweep your hands to the top of your mat. Step back, downward facing dog. All right, drop down to your knees, sit back on your heels, and take a moment to tune in. So close your eyes, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your low belly, or both hands to heart center. And notice the qualities of your breath now. Is your breath deeper or more shallow than when you began? Have you noticed yourself efforting or trying to speed up anywhere? Or have you noticed a tendency to hang back and go slower? It's important to build in reflection time to the practice so that we can make adjustments and embody our fullness, embody our intentions. Open your eyes, big breath in, open mouth, exhale. All right, let's come into downward facing dog one more time. And we'll take those shapes faster this time, still savoring each cycle of breath. So every movement is matched. Inhale, sweep your right leg high. Exhale, step to your right thumb, spin your left heel down. Inhale, rise, warrior two, big opening. Straighten your front leg, hinge forward, triangle pose. Big breath in, lead your heart back. Exhale, catch your hips, rise to stand. Turn your toes in, another big breath here, open up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Spin your toes forward, hands to the top of your mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Nice and steady. Inhale your left leg high. Gracefully forward. Get grounded. Inhale, rise. Use your whole inhale to take up your space. Straighten your front leg. Hinge forward. Tap your left fingers down, triangle pose. Big breath in. Exhale, catch your top hip. Rise up. I'll turn to face y'all. Set up for wide straddle fold. Turn your toes to the edge of your mat. Big inhale here. Exhale, bow forward. And inhale, we rise back up. Turn your toes forward. Plant your hands to the top of your mat. Downward facing dog. Nice work, yogis. Walk halfway up your mat. Drop down to your knees. And I'm going to turn to face all of you. We're going to set up for some hip opening shapes now. So drop one of your hips to the earth, extend your legs forward, and then pedal out your legs, pedal out your feet. Give yourself a little shake. All right. Keep your left leg long, bend your right knee. So depending on your flexibility, the openness of your joints and your muscles, you can work your heel either a couple inches away from your seat or take up the space that feels best for you. It's going to look different for all of us. Then inhale, scoop your heart forward. So stay tall and proud through your chest. Then if you can, stomp your foot to the outside of your left thigh. Keep a hold of your shin, sitting taller. Now fingertips behind your sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of your spine. Twist and turn towards the right side. You can also use the eye of your elbow to hook the front of your shin, or some of you can cross your elbow over your right thigh and turn and twist even more. Now ride your breath within the shape. Every inhale, sit taller. Each exhale, pull your belly back to turn your heart more behind you. Root down through both sides, turn to face forward. And now both hands to the outside of your left hip and just give yourself a gentle counter twist. This isn't a proper pose, but it's nice to be slow and steady and feel into the opening you created. Then rise back up. You can stay here and fold forward over your left leg, or you can bend your left knee, place your heel by your right hip, cow face pose, Gomukhasana. Now notice my seat is closer to the right side of my mat, so I'm going to press down into my feet, center my seat, and now I have more of a stable base to lift my heart up. Catch the front of catch the tops of your feet, keep the length through your spine, and notice if your breath is inviting you to go deeper, start to hinge forward at your hips. This is a great place to use a block here. You can keep the length, then drop your head. Maybe even set your forearms down, palms facing up. Breathe into wherever you feel this pose. So our breath helps us illuminate those places within us, we all have them, where energy starts to get stuck. Okay? Through how we've been living or repetitive actions like staying seated for time. Or I know for me, I carry my babies on my right hip, so I really feel it in this hip. It's a great reflection about how we are living and where we are creating imbalance within the body. It's not right or wrong, but we all work with it. And over time, it impacts our energy. As we go slow and steady, we can start to breathe into the places that have been cut off from breath, have been cut off from energy. All right, yogis, slowly come back, sit up tall, and we'll take it in the other direction. Extend your legs forward, paddle them out. You feel that rush of life force. So in yoga poses, it's like we're cutting off life force as we go into the pose, and then when we come out of the pose, we're still in a pose. It's all linked together with our breath and with our intention. All right, sit up tall, bend your left knee, flex your right toes, step your foot to the outside of your right thigh, twist. Take your twist, turning to the left side of your mat. Left fingers behind your sacrum. Sit up taller with each inhale. Twist a little deeper with each exhale, slow and steady. Then gracefully unwind, take a gentle counter twist. I like to draw my heart more towards the earth. You rise back up. Okay, Gomukhasana. So again, you can fold forward just like this. You can even shine your palms or bend your right knee. Center your seat, sit up tall, and fold forward to your degree. Your block is a great support to help lift the earth up to you. If you don't need the block, you can even keep your hands and feet, serve your palms forward, hook your chin over your top knee. Dive into your breath, whatever you're in. With every inhale, expand your breath up to the barrier of your skin. And with each exhale, soften everything down towards the earth. It's a conscious practice of expanding with each inhale and releasing, surrendering with each exhale. Turn your palms to the earth, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. All right. And now we're going to come into Upavishta Konasana, so wide straddle fold. And this is a great place to use your blocks, or if you have a pillow, you can use this to help support you. I'll show you with my bolster here. I'm going to send it straight out in front of me while I take a wide straddle. So turn your toes up towards the sky. You can even pat the tops of your thigh bones and rock back and forth to settle your leg bones more towards the earth. With your bolster out in front of you, rest up, scoop your heart forward, and then just simply drop your head. Notice if you can go a little deeper, moving slowly and steadily with your breath. Some of you might be able to even lay down on your bolster. Keep some action through your feet and through your legs. We're here for just a couple more breaths. This is one of my favorite poses for a really busy day. I'll just lay down on my bolster, turn your head to the other side if you're on one cheek. And as I take this time to slow down, I can watch my body respond to my breath. So for 5 more breaths right here in this shape, notice how your body responds as you tune in. Where can you expand on each inhale? And where can you surrender, soften, slow and steady, yogis. Turn your forehead to center. Use the help of your hands and your arms to sit up tall, long spine. Remove your props off the sides of your mat so you have the fullness of your mat to lay down and savor all the work that you've done in your practice today. Lay down for the final and most important pose. So take up your space, palms facing up, let your feet splay out wide, close eyes. Let go of any effort in your body and in your mind. You've done the work, so now give yourself the space to simply receive. Receive the gifts from your practice today. Final rest, Shavasana. As you take rest, I will hold space for you in my seat. And when your mind starts to jump in, simply return to the natural flow of your breath. Focus on your inner rhythm, your intention to be slow and steady in this practice. Come back to the space of receiving. And if you have the space to stay here a while longer, please do. When you're ready to move on, start to reawaken your fingers and your toes. Then stretch your whole body long, reach your arms overhead, point your toes. Wake yourself back up. At the base of your next exhale, pull your knees in towards your heart and wrap your arms around your shins. And then gently roll to one side, whatever side's calling you today. Keeping your eyes closed and your energy inward. Use your hands and your forearms to lift you up to your seats. And we'll meet with our palms united at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Sit up tall. And then embody the opening, the energetic opening, the physical opening you've created. And let the ease and slowness, the trust, your inner wisdom be reflected in your seat. Let's seal our practice with a final Om. Take a deep breath in. Lift your prayer hands from your heart to your mind. Seal the wisdom from your practice into your mind. Honoring the love, the light, and the good in each and every one of us. Bowing forward, together we say,
Namaste.
Thank you, yogis. Thank you so much for sharing your yoga practice today. Please join us for more yoga and meditation classes on Round Glass or on our app. See you soon.